Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Annabelle, to those who are new to this channel, and to those who've always been there, welcome back. We have a visitor today. We have a visitor on the channel, guys.
Thank you guys for having me onto this beautiful platform. I feel so honored to see already the craziness is coming out. I am so sorry.
She's that crazy, guys. So we have a FOSU family in the building. They have a YouTube channel, a family YouTube channel. I'll leave the description. I'll leave everything about their channel on the description box. Please go check them out. Go subscribe to their channel and tell them you're from Real Life with Bella. And I'm also going to write it on the screen. It's just a FOSU family on YouTube.
Yeah.
In today's video, we're going to talk about raising children in Germany. I mean, there's definitely a difference between the way we were raised and the way children are raised here in Germany, and you have your kids in Germany. And yeah, we want to talk about like your experiences in terms of raising kids in Germany and what you think is okay or better, or you know, the comparison of raising children here in Germany and the way we were raised back home, or the way children are raised back home.
Okay.
Yeah, so before we start this video, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I'll put the notification bell on your face.
Oh my god.
Before we start this video, I'm going to ask Mpo to introduce yourself properly. Like, can you introduce yourself? Tell us about yourself briefly.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Mpo FOSU. I am a Zimbabwean and half South African, which means I'm Ndebele, but I'm also Sotho.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm married to a Ghanaian, purely Ghanaian. We met up here in Germany. We had our children 5 years ago. So we've been raising kids for the past 5 years.
5 years. And how many kids do you have?
We have 2 kids, one boy and one girl.
Okay, how old?
So the first girl, the girl is actually 5 years, and the boy is 3.5 years.
The boy is 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So you've been on this raising children game for the past 5 years
For
now.
the past 5 years, my sister.
Can you please tell us about your experience? I mean, I understand in Germany you're not allowed to beat your children, and I mean, we were raised differently. Being raised back home in Africa, for every little thing they would spank your ass. You would get a little bit of a beating, and here I understand it's not allowed. Do you see that as a challenge, that you're not allowed to beat your children?
I don't really see it as a challenge, because one thing that Germany allows us to see children as is in a different view. Back home, we feel like we are not allowed to express ourselves.
Okay.
We're not allowed to say no. We are not allowed to stand up for ourselves, even though something is hurting us, you know. So I feel like, and we are beat up for things that sometimes we don't understand.
Okay.
Because I remember myself, maybe as my child, the 3-year-old, I used to be beat up almost every day.
You were a naughty child.
Let me not say naughty, but you know, at this age, you feel like the child is being really experimental.
Yeah.
And it's okay to accept that the child has to be experimental to see and know what is right and what is wrong. And hear the child out. But back home, there was no time to be heard. Who are you to be heard? You are 3. What do you know?
You know nothing.
You are beat.
Yeah.
You were asking, what is this? You are beat.
Yeah.
You are eating this. What? You are beat. I mean, so what are we allowed to do? Like, I will not... I do not remember a day at the age of 3 to 6 when my mom did not beat me at all.
Yeah, okay. So this whole beating thing, being allowed to beat your children or being not allowed to beat your children in Germany, you don't see it as something really bad. Like, you see it in a different way.
I see it in a different way. Of course, there are times when the child really does need a little bit of spanking.
Yeah.
But when it is necessary, like really when there is a need to say, look, here you've done wrong, you will get hurt, and when you get hurt, I don't want to lose you, I don't want you to be disabled, I don't want you, because you are born properly, you know. When it comes to dangers, stuff like that, we really become strict and we beat, because that is the only way for the child to understand that I cannot cross this road, and there is no discussion about it.
So I get it. So you are not saying children should not be beaten. So you actually like disagree to this whole German thing of beating children, but you are also saying there is a certain point in life or a certain thing where the child can be beaten for. Not all the time. You do something, you ask something, you're beaten. You do something, you're beaten. Like, not always beating children, like we should not always beat children, but there is a certain point where you have to like draw boundaries and let them know that what they're doing is wrong.
Exactly. I will give an example. There was a time when we were staying in a house that was just by the street, and at that time we never really used to lock our door, so and the bedroom for the kids was really far from, let me say, the sitting room, so it was divided with a corridor, so which means whatever could happen, whatever they were doing, we were not really alert of it. So at this point in time, I think my boy was not really feeling sleepy or anything like that, and he silently wore his shoes and he went out, and this was
how old was he?
He was 2.
2 years
and this
old.
was 10 o'clock at night. And I mean, this is a street full of cars, people, anything could happen, you know, someone could steal him, he cannot talk, he cannot scream, we are not hearing what is happening. And then 30 minutes or 20 minutes down the line, a neighbor of ours comes and knocks the door, and we're really shocked because we're watching a movie, you know, when we have like our time. Exactly. We hear someone is knocking the door and she's bringing our son. We were really shocked.
Like how and
like,
why?
At that moment, I felt like I didn't know him because I just put this person in bed. And this person is wearing shoes and he's outside
at
of the door.
Of 2.
Exactly. You know, the father took him in. We were very scared. It was a very scary moment where your thoughts run down your mind to say a car could have beat him, someone could have stolen him, anything could have happened, and a child is someone who is irreplaceable. And at that moment the father said, you know what, I'm going to beat you, not because I hate you, but because what you did was extremely wrong.
So I feel what you're saying. I get what you mean. Like, at least if children are beaten, you should explain to them why you're beating them. Not just spanking them because they are standing in the middle of elders, like back home, you know. Now I get it. Like, to actually explain why you're doing what you're doing to the children. Back home, they never used to explain that. They'll just beat us, and then you are landing somewhere and nobody cares. Okay, I get it. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the issue of, you know, children here, they don't really play outside on the streets. They don't really like play out with the neighbors' kids. Like, the kids are really kept most of the times inside. Like, what do you have to say about that? Is it challenging or?
I really think on this way is more on the negative part. Because to build up now the social system, you know, I find like maybe life, socializing with other people is important.
Definitely.
But now, because of the life here in Germany or the system here in Germany, you are forced to keep your children at home. First, because of the weather conditions. 2, because parents are always working, they're always busy, nobody has time. So they are putting their kids only academically. You find that the kids are not watching TV, but they're at home doing puzzles, they are learning, they are writing, they are reading. The least thing that could be is that the child is watching TV for 1 hour and maybe listening to the radio.
Okay.
So I think on that part, really, yes, we want to push our children to be academically good and all that, but also the social system.
They also need that social life. They also need to be able to just easily make friends, like easy going.
And be kids.
And just play around and get dirty and come home.
We used to play and be really dirty, and you'd really feel like I have accomplished my day.
True. You'd come home dirty and they'll just throw you to the bathroom, and you'd really feel like I had a day. It was really good, and you don't have any worries. It didn't need to be expensive. All you needed was just dust, the air, and the friends. You needed the streets and the stones
and that was it.
True. I think I see it also in the way you see it. I think I don't have kids myself, but I've worked with kids. I have friends with kids. I play auntie in a lot of ways. I'm an auntie, and I think it's really hard to have children in the house the whole day. Of course there are playgrounds and everything, but if you have one child, even if you take them to the playground, it's still boring. They can't really go outside and play with other kids. I think it's really hard. So we're going to move on to the next thing. The next thing that I'm going to ask you is the issue of children here have a lot of toys. Like, what do you have to say about that? Is it okay that children get everything that they want? I mean, back home, you would never get everything. No matter how rich you were, there were boundaries where your parents would say, no, you can't have this, no, you can't have that. And here it's only like you go to the supermarket, they get a toy. You go to a shop for clothes, they get a toy. You're working outside, they get a toy. You buy at McDonald's family thing, they have a toy. Like, what do you say about this whole toy thing?
I feel like this whole toy thing is also a little bit exaggerated. It's so much exaggerated, where the child now just takes it for advantage. It doesn't know the value,
the worth. It's not valued anymore. Okay, it's just too much.
It's just too much, and you find that the lifespan for that toy is just a week. And it's already packed away.
True, because there's a new thing coming, Lego and all that.
Exactly. Also with the attitude of the child, by getting everything, it's a little bit not good. For me, instance, I have naturally, I didn't plan it, but I just buy my children toys on Christmas, on their birthday, and on summer holidays, like, because they have a longer time when they're at home.
They can play.
Exactly. So I really try to keep them a little bit busy, but otherwise in between the time, I don't.
Not this whole, true. No. I think you're doing a good thing. I don't know, guys. Comment down below.
True,
and let us know what you think about this whole toy thing. Do you think kids should get all those toys, or do you think it's enough when we are saying you can get up to this point and not anymore? I remember back home we used to value our toys, that you would get a toy once in 2 years, once a year, and you would keep it until it was breaking, like literally breaking. But today the children, I wanted to say heute zutage Deutsch, but today children are just getting everything. Like, comment down below and let us know what you think. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the issue of language. Like, is it like what language do you teach your children? I mean, you're Zimbabwean, you're South African, Ghanaian, German, and also English. There are 5 languages in front of them. Like,
when it comes to the language, I will not lie to you, it is challenging to the child. It's very, very challenging. For instance, in the house, we've just tried to keep the language just to English and German. Mostly just English in the house. But even though it's very challenging for the child, because they come out, they hear a different language, they come in, they hear another different language. So when now in the brain, for them to have these words, a lot of words, accumulating of words, it's a little bit, it lacks. Because now they're trying to distribute some in English and they're trying to distribute some in German. And the two together, it then does not sound well. I will tell you that, for instance, my Ashira just really started talking late, where we had to take her to so many doctors and all, because the kindergarten was now telling us she is disabled and all that, and it was making us sad.
This is crazy.
It was making us sad because we know that she's okay, she's well,
true.
and all that. Only the language.
It's too much language.
Exactly.
Obviously, they will take time.
Exactly. And we would go to the doctor. I remember we went to the doctor for the ear because they said maybe she cannot hear as well.
Yeah.
We took her to the doctor for the ears. The doctor said everything is okay. The problem is marked languages in the house.
Yeah.
The kindergarten still pushed us to now go to a neurologist for the brain. They said maybe the brain is not something is
so
not
sad.
well.
Yeah.
Where it's not processing. And right now, you know, in Germany you deal with only one doctor. Your doctor from birth to when the child is 18 or whatever, it's a kinderarzt. You go to the same doctor, the doctor keeps your records and all that. So the doctor has been monitoring the child, the doctor knows the child, and she's also saying the same thing because we are not from here. We're already speaking our language.
Yeah, true.
Ashira will hear the father speaking the language on the phone.
This is really crazy, yeah.
So now the kindergarten said, let us take the child to a neurologist, and the doctor said, what is the reason of the child going to the neurologist? Because you have to have a reason, because he was not finding the reason. So we just said maybe because of the language.
Yeah, true.
Then he said okay. When you go to the neurologist, you don't discuss anything. They take your child, they put them in the machine. And that is it. You don't discuss anything. And kindergarten expected that there was this discussion that was
saying,
exactly, but there was none. So you take the child to the machine. It's a helmet that is worn. It's really like tightened to the scalp of the head that it really processes the muscles of the brain. So, and when it happened like that, they said, okay, it will take, the results will come out in 4 weeks. And we send the results straight to your doctor, the child's doctor. So the doctor is the one to explain everything, and we have the discussion there. So once the results came out, we went there, and then the doctor was like, I'm not seeing anything.
There's nothing
wrong. I don't know what is happening, but I'm going to write. And for us to close this discussion, we said, please, can you write a letter? To just make sure we are stating, because you know here in Germany, we have to state everything with proof.
They would think, black parents, they didn't go to the doctor, they're just saying it.
Exactly.
True.
So the doctor stated everything to say, please, there is nothing wrong with the child. You need to give the child time for her to grow into the words. For this year, it has just been a miracle because the child is talking like there's nothing that has ever happened.
Yeah, true. Yeah, this is actually very sad. So these are the challenges that African parents can face sometimes because of the languages, and they will just think your child cannot speak. Like the system here in Germany, I've worked in a kindergarten. The system here in Germany is very, very strict when it comes to what the child can do and what the child cannot. So if your child reaches a certain age and they still cannot wear their shoes alone or individually doing stuff, they would think they need to go to a special class. They need it's very strict, and I understand what you mean.
But can I add something? I would also like to say it's not really bad. It's hurtful as a parent, but it brings awareness that if in case there is a problem, it can be dealt with when there's still time. And of course, maybe so that the child can raise up to the level of
the others.
And the German standard itself. It's I think on this one, because you know as a parent you are in denial. Let me say
you
it.
Would never agree.
And they also put it out as really harsh.
I also think it's very hard. But let's leave it for another day because we'll discuss it
it's
until
true.
tomorrow.
It's true.
It's a very long topic. Okay, so we might as well conclude this video.
Okay.
So can you conclude it by telling me what do you like? What's your conclusion about this whole thing? Do you think raising children in Germany is challenging compared to raising children back home, or do you think the way children in Germany are raised is not okay for you? You'd rather raise them in the African way. Like, what's your conclusion? What do you think?
I think that, once you have a child in Germany, actually from the moment you are pregnant in Germany, you just need to be open-minded, because you're even living amongst them, you're living in their country. You just need to go according to their standard, to their level, because
when in Rome, do what the Romans do.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no other way.
Yeah.
And it even helps us as individuals, because sometimes we have our lazy minds, sorry to put it that way, but
Africans have
we have, and we want really, oh no, I'll do it tomorrow. No,
I stand for Africans. I'm not saying yes to this.
we really are too relaxed, not lazy, but too relaxed.
Yeah, true. We procrastination a lot. We procrastinate a lot.
Yeah.
Me too, I do it, I'll do it tomorrow.
And at the end of the day, you just don't do it.
Yeah.
So I think I would just really say, have an open mind. There are some things that are bad, there are some that are good.
You just have to find a way of balancing both ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't forget your roots, but don't forget that you are living in another place now.
Yeah. You can't be beating children in Germany. They take them away from you.
They do, and then you'll be really sad.
Yeah.
Or when the child now goes to tell the kindergarten.
Yeah.
Mama, and sometimes we'll be beaten, we'll be having scars.
Yeah, true.
And imagine these ones. They are not that light.
Yeah,
they start sending people to come to the house to check what is happening.
That's very true. Yeah, I still have a lot of questions, but I think this video will be too long.
It will be.
We'll leave it here today, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, really.
I've always wanted to have this video for the longest time, and I finally had it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, guys. Please leave a comment in the comment section and let us know what you think about raising children, like the comparison between Africa and Germany, or what would you do, or what would you prefer, or how would you raise your children, or how do you raise your children, as long as you're out of your country and you're raising your children not in your home country. What are the differences? Just let us know in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed watching this video once again, and don't forget to go and support the FOSU family, subscribe to their channel, and tell them you're coming from Real Life with Bella. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.